nobody really than Gorilla. I said, can't nobody really than Gorilla. Can't nobody really than Gorilla.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Destino Podcast here with Michael Jargo and the Vet. Just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of Your Impact Attack, and we had some special guests in the Impact Zone this evening. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, which we got a couple of people in the YouTube channel, I have to do some production right here and fix the Windows screens because the man to my right, as always, the Vet. Vet, say what is up to everyone. And were you excited for the special guest that we had that we're going to talk about here at the Free for View at the Impact Zone? Ain't nobody Rilla.
I guess I'm excited. I don't know. Am I excited? Are you excited?
I'm pretty. I like Gorilla. I like Tamatonga. I enjoy some of the Tongans.
Well, I do, but I just don't know if I'm excited, or if that's just because I'm dead inside. Is that why I'm not excited? I don't know.
Because you're dead inside.
Yeah,
that's
no offense to those guys.
Dead inside.
That's true.
So, and they're not the only ones. But should we tell them who the third surprise is, or should we save that?
Well, everybody knows who our third surprise
is. That a premium surprise
here at the Impact Attack? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Brandon. Brandon, I see you got a new fall collection or winter collection to add to your wardrobe this winter. The Vet is very jealous of those boots. That's right. Shut up, bird.
How we doing tonight?
I think we're doing great, Brandon, and I think everyone else is doing great at channelattitude.com and on Hameen Media Group, Podbean, on the affiliate channel that we have. I guess it's the only channel that we have. You're listening to the Free for View, and we had an exciting Impact Attack, and for those that are listening on Channel Attitude, you'll get to hear the rest of this. But I went back and listened to last week's Vet just to see how long Ray would let it go out. And he let it go out for a little longer than what I thought he would let it go out for. So I don't know if he listens to these and he edits them or what he has going on here. But we've got, you know what? You know, I'm going to steal a little bit of a gimmick from Ray here. That for the Free for View, we're going to shout out the chat. I've got a little bit of music here to shout out the chat. We got some shout chat music. All right, Vet, you want to shout out the chat for us?
Shall I? Well, let's go ahead and as of right now, YouTube is just telling me that we have the Buckshot Kid and Elizabeth here. That's what YouTube is telling me. However, I already seen Canada Spaceman. Just his keys must be on fire. And I saw Javi Uchiha of the Uchiha clan. You know, from Naruto. He killed his family. So
good.
So I don't know if we want him in the chat. We might our entire Hami Media group might end up dead. But if that's anything to go off of, see, Spaceman's already dead. So, you know, you never can tell whenever I read the participants list. Never really can tell if YouTube is bugging out or whatever. So if I miss you or whatever, don't take any offense to it. But
thank you, Buckshot Kid, for hitting that like button. Did you smash it or did you just hit it?
Yeah, smash that, man.
You got to smash it, yeah, because we don't get credit. It's like surveys that restaurants and businesses give you. If you don't do anything but a 5 for everything, they get zeros. So even you're just like, oh, I'm gonna give them a 4. That's really generous. No, they don't. I need all 5s, and I need you to like abuse that like button and the notification bell. Abuse it, much like Brock Lesnar abused everyone at the end of the Royal Rumble there.
Smash, stack, and pin that like button.
Yeah, smash, stack, and pin
And
it.
acknowledge the like button.
Acknowledge the like button.
Acknowledge your tribal like button.
Smash that thing like Roman smashes ass.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. Or like
And
Xavier
Sonic,
would smash
Sonic the
his ass.
Hedgehog is here just in time for the ass smashing festivities.
Yeah.
We're smashing
Usual.
asses, Sonic, on the free for view here at channelattitude.com. So we had a very interesting start to Impact Wrestling. We had Chris Bay, and they brought up his mini battles with Laredo Kid. So I just assumed he was going to wrestle Laredo Kid again. Nay. Vet, tell the listeners who they had Chris Bay wrestle.
Well, he did wrestle someone or something.
Oh.
That's right. Jake something versus Chris Bay here to kick us off on this episode of Impact. And so that was kind of a surprise because, you know, Jake something has sort of been like a second-class citizen in Impact lately. Rumors about a contract being up or something like that. Who knows? Who knows if any of that's true or what is a contract anyway? Especially in Impact, what is a contract?
Right.
So, yeah, so they had a little match. Do you want to talk about the match they had? Or?
We can go ahead and jump into it. Jake something wins the match. We'll go ahead and let everybody know Jake something wins the match. Which is surprising to me because my first thought of it, actually, before you guys get into the match, let me hit you with some questions here. Since you guys are the former professionals that used to do this, was this like a reset for him? Because think about like how they'll send guys down, like because he was literally on the pre-show getting pinned, if I recall, like a few weeks ago, right? Like he was on the pay-per-view pre-show. Then he like picks up a win. What's up, Piers? Piers in the chat. He picks up a win on BTI. And then I think he picked up a win last week. So I think this is like 3 in a row for Jake something, I believe. So it's like he's building momentum. And for the stuff that they, the amount of put over they've been doing in building up Chris Bay the last couple weeks and how they put him over on commentary, here's Jake something now getting over on Chris Bay, which, was this just a get over match to bring in the surprise guests that we ended up having who were realer than no other? Or was this something, are they building Jake something? Are they building 2 storylines here? What are your thoughts? Or go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, it could very well be doing both because, like, if Jake would have went under and then they ran out, it would have just buried him and made him look bad. Whereas him getting the win made it look like they had to come in to kind of, help their buddy out. And also gets them over too with how they beat him down.
Vet, your thoughts?
So if I'm doing if my main focus that I'm doing an angle where members of another company or former members of another company are coming in and that's what I'm basing my entire show around, I'm not going to then have a second party of guys from a different company just running down to the ring unannounced, attacking a guy that has little or no value at this current time, who just beat one of the guys in your group that did have more value according to you, that you have been doing something with. Everything about this was wrong. Like, everything about this. If you wanted to bring in the Gorillas of Destiny, it should have been a thing where you just said, we're bringing in the Gorillas of Destiny. Like, talk about it. Get people interested in it. Maybe some people that are New Japan fans are going to want to tune into Impact now to see it because you already said it was going to happen. And you could have, like, just, the meeting with Scott D'Amore and, whatever interactions that you want to have as, like, an official part of this, because you're also doing this other invasion angle with all the unofficiality of people walking into they're just sauntering into the arena and standing around until they get called out, which is, we'll talk about that later when it happens. But do you see how they're cannibalizing their one story that they've got going on right now? And it's just, This is just another example of how everything across all of pro wrestling, no one is innocent of it. They're all just doing as much hot-shotting as they can for every single thing that they do. There's hot-shotting within hot-shotting. Everything is a backstage interruption, beat down. There's people coming out interrupting people's promos all the time. Can you watch an AEW show without somebody? Can somebody even do a promo uninterrupted on an AEW show? No, they cannot. There's matches and there's angles after matches. Nothing is ever just, okay, this happened and let's move on. Nothing is compartmentalized. They keep trying to make you more excited to keep watching it. They think they're booking excitement. Ooh, look, a dastardly attack by these guys, or oh, this guy's interrupting him. I wonder if they're going to have a match next week, or God forbid later on tonight. Nothing can just be like, we planned this, we went through with it, and next week we had a plan and we're going to go through with that, and so on and so forth. It's always like trying to create chaos, which is them trying to create artificial interest. We're not going to be interested because we're desensitized to this. Now we see somebody come out with a microphone, we're just like, who is going to interrupt him? We barely care at all at this point. We're just like, whatever's next. And in this instant gratification, microwave society, short attention span theater that we live in, doing more of it is going to make it worse. What's going to stand out and make things different is for people to actually slow down and take their time and devote attention to compartmentalized aspects of their programming. So I didn't like it, to answer your question.
Vet didn't like it. Vet didn't like Gorillas of Destiny, which Vet, I normally like to wear different T-shirts for you. I wore a Gorillas of Destiny T-shirt today for the show.
Oh, nice.
We didn't save it for the channelattitude.com today. You got to see what the shirt is beforehand, and you've seen the Tamatonga micro brawler I've got. We rep Gorillas of Destiny here in the Moose No More household.
Right, nothing against those guys.
Oh, I thought you were going to show us something, Vet. I thought you were about to pull something out.
No, I'm just fixing my audio issues.
You tried.
I can't hear it, so you have to tell
plugging
me
it
if
back in.
that's.
Yeah, you're not clicking anymore. There's no more static.
So that happens sometimes, and it's because if I forgot to actually plug in this laptop, even though the battery is full, it just can't handle it. It's got to be like connected to a power source, I guess.
Well, we didn't tell everyone why Gorillas of Destiny is here, and Vet, I think this also answers kind of your point with how this isn't sustainable. Now, this is a storyline across all of wrestling, because again, the Bullet Club has issues with the Good Brothers, and that is who they called out after they beat up Jake something, and kind of you weren't even excited about Jay White showing up, Switchblade in the Impact Zone again. You got a little smile there. There you go. Aw, look at a little Vet there. Aw. A little Vet smile.
It's one of the greatest.
It's one of the greatest. No, V is for Vet, not Val Venus, Canada Spaceman. And V is also for Switchblade, Jay White. Right? Right, Vet?
Yes, it's for, yes.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Wubba lubba dub dub. Let's see. I guess, Ray, you can cut this out now for the free review. We're going to do a little live production on air.
He's going to let it go for 5 more minutes.
Let it go for another 5 minutes so I can.
I don't think we should bother to
to
differentiate the free review any longer. We should just.
You can't see me doing the hand signs for cut it, Ray, but it's okay. It's okay, Ray. Just calm down.
He's not going to see that either.
Just cut it right here. You're one of my snowflakes, Ray. I appreciate it.
For sure not going to see that.
Right, he'll feel it. He'll feel it in his soul. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your free for view here. Look at, he heard it. He saw it, Vet. See, I told you he would feel it. I told you he would feel it.
Very sneaky, Ray, on Twitch.
Very sneaky on the Twitch, Ray. Very sneaky, like Mr. Deeds.
Yeah.
All
right.
right. Well,
Well, now that the free portion's over, you don't have to let it die, Colin. You can.
now I was I was going to reintroduce everyone, but you scolded me last week
Yeah.
for trying to restart the show. Ladies
Yeah,
and
what do you-
gentlemen, welcome to the paid portion of the Impact
it's not
Attack.
two things.
I am your host, Colin Weissong, and I am here each and every week with my main man, the vet, and our third man in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Get so much use from this. I love this drop. There's fog. There's the hazy camera. The ladies love him. The men love him. He's Brandon Housen, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Housen.
Brandon Housen in the house.
That's true. And shouts out to MSG. That is not MSG. That is Big Ray. The Suck My Balls podcast number 111 drops tomorrow. Make sure you check that out. Any and everywhere that catches pods. You can listen to Suck My Balls there. Suck My Balls. Look, now he's in the YouTube channel. now he's in the YouTubes. Vet.
Can you see this guy on the train on his phone having two different windows open and going back and forth between them? Like, how sad
cheer
is that?
bits while you're on Twitch. Let's see. Now, this isn't pertinent to us, but I did see a post where this one lady in New York is very upset because, much like the 80s, homeless people have gone back to sleeping in the cars. Like, she's getting on in the morning and it's just every car is nothing but homeless people. Is that like Ray's nightmare? You think like Ray wakes up in a sweat, like thinking that it's just nothing but like he's crammed on a car, like sardine like with nothing but homeless people, like God, homeless people.
I suppose so. I mean,
yeah. Ray, one's in the chat. If you think Ray's biggest fear is waking up stuck on the subway with a ton of homeless people. And just as we had been talking about at the Free for View, we got stuck with some people. I don't know if Tom Hannafin really wanted to be stuck with this guy or not, but Matthew Raywalt comes out to commentary, and I guess he is the new color commentary for Impact Wrestling. The WWE has succeeded in taking over the commentary booth of Impact Wrestling. Now it's just the buyout vet. Now the buyout comes.
Not only that, I'm pretty damn sure that Tom and Matt were a commentary team on WWE.
They were. It's the exact
like 205
same
Live,
commentary
right?
team.
So
yep. So it's like 205. So do we call Impact Attack the 205 Live Attack now?
Oh, Brian Myers even mentions it later on.
He does. Now, don't I know you two?
Yeah.
Yes, we work at Impact now. You sat beside me and did commentary with me last week, Brian Myers. Thank you very much.
It's just a refugee station at this point.
There he is. Very much is. Vet, what was our next match?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we were since we're
Well, we were
rebooting
talking-
the
I
show.
mean,
I
if
thought
y'all-
we'd talk about the Super Bowl and the Royal Rumble, but I guess we're not rebooting it, so we'll just go right into the show.
Well, we could talk about it. We could talk about the Super Bowl. We can talk about the Royal Rumble. I know there was some chatter in the chat, and see, that's the thing, Vet. I know
Chatter in the chat room.
I know Wednesday, Big Ray's going to want to talk to you about all this stuff, and you're going to get tired. No, you know what? This is a good way for you to promote our show on the Next Level 2.0 show that you do with Ray.
That's right.
You
The
can be
A
like, I'm
show,
not giving you my
which is-
answer. You go
What?
listen to the Impact Attack.
Oh.
That's when Ray's like, "Oh, what do you think about the Super Bowl? About the Rams and the
No, you know
Bengals?"
what's funny is if something like that happens and Ray somehow talks about it, he's gonna act like it never happened and we're not gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? Like if he's on the Monday locker room and he and Ben talk about the Royal Rumble, he's gonna be like, we don't need to talk about the Royal Rumble. Yeah, no one cares what I have to to say about it.
Well,
so
I
we'll
care.
continue
That's
that
why we're
tradition
gonna
of
do
not
it.
caring what I have to say about it right here.
I care.
I
care.
well, you-
They care.
What,
What's
well,
in the chat? If
You got a third guy right there. You could ask to.
Two's in the chat if you don't care, but mostly one's in the chat. Oh, he said two. He doesn't care. Wow. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl and or the Royal Rumble?
I mean, it's cool to see the Bengals get in it, but I honestly think that's kind of scripted the same way wrestling kind of is. Like, you see the way the drama is built up in, like, every year.
Yes. Dude, what happened at the end there? Patrick Mahomes all of a sudden decides he cannot throw the football any longer. He just runs around until he gets sacked. Are you kidding me?
Like the UFC fights.
That's not even realistic booking to have him, like, shouldn't he throw like a pick six for drama or something like that instead of just running around in circles until they finally catch him? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen what he can do. It's outrageous what he can do, and then all of a sudden it was too obvious. They scripted that one too obviously.
He should have lost to Josh Allen, but he literally scored a touchdown in like 13 seconds. They should have lost. I think they were already on tilt in a sense. It just took this Bengals team to just kind of push them over the edge to get them.
The Bengals team isn't even that good.
No, they're really not. They're probably going to get shut down by the Rams.
They're probably not. They're probably going to win.
They probably will win. This will be some kind of weird, miraculous thing. But the Rams are just really good on defense, and they're really, really good on the offense. Like, really good on offense. Stafford's going to get his ring, and deservedly. So, let's see. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble.
Anybody that plays for the Lions deserves to get a Super Bowl ring at some point.
That is true. I feel like he's doing this for Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, two guys who wasted their careers in Detroit.
Poor Lions. Poor Lions.
They never get no respect.
No, but they get a lot of good players because they get to draft high.
That's right. What are you guys? Okay, so apparently Big Ray is now Danhausen's biggest fan.
Yeah. Again, another overnight. This guy exists for years, and Big Ray sees one thing, and he's been a fan his entire life. He's got his Danhausen. What's that jar of stuff that he always has? Anyway, Ray ordered some.
He's got Danhausen teeth. Are you trying to say Ray's very evil? Brandon, what are your thoughts on Danhausen? Do you think he's good at, like, does he move the needle?
With the right booking and presentation, he could.
Well, he's in AEW, so do you think he's going to get the right booking and presentation?
No.
Do you like the idea that they put over on the Monday Locker Room or where did I hear this? Maybe it wasn't the Monday Locker Room, but they were talking about Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley and Danhausen. I don't know where I was listening to that, but that was like, or put Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar like Danhausen. He somehow weasels his way into the. Oh, I know what it was. It was the blow off with Jargo and DJ Mass Effect.
Danhausen is a non-factor for people outside of this bubble. Just so everybody knows. Now, with that being said, I don't have any problem with him, and I like the stuff that he does, because he doesn't do anything that embarrasses the professional wrestling business. It's not like Decay where he's like teleporting into places and stuff like that. He's just a wrestler who's weird, but that's fine because no one else is doing it, and he had to be the guy that did that. But you're like the booking, you know what I mean? Like, what's the first time you see him? This big introduction is him being under the ring for somebody else's match. They pull him out. He does his finger thing, and then he just leaves.
Exactly.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Set the table for the guy.
That was 100%.
Yeah, exactly. You got to set the table for the guy. Let the people know who this guy is so you care about him when he shows up.
All the AEW marks already know who he is.
They didn't even know who he was, bro.
Oh, they know who he
those
is.
people in that building were like, is that Darby Allin again? It's like
that Sting?
Yeah, like what is that? You know what I mean? So it's like people just aren't going to get it. Even people that like it don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's just not going to work unless, like Brandon says, you have to do something with it. It has to be its own thing. You can't tack him onto Orange Cassidy just to do it, you know? And he should know that. he should be the one saying, you know, hey, I want, you know, you want to bring me in, we'll do this, and we can do this, but I'm not going to do that. Like, why would I do that? You know, people have to say this now because that's the landscape we're in, you know?
It's
so
actually,
got-
it's actually turned into like a competitive market now.
right. So yeah, that was the worst use of Danhausen. The best use of Danhausen ever would be just vignettes to start. Like, if anybody needs vignettes, that's a guy that can do it with vignettes. Like, not every wrestler needs a vignette. Some guys could just come out there, show up, you know, and start getting over in squashes or whatever. But for him, not really going to work like that. So I would suggest that, you know, it's already like he's got an uphill climb now because of how he came in. But does he move the needle? No. And will he move the needle? No. Because again, even people outside the Wrestling Bowl don't even watch AEW, let alone anything else that goes on outside. To people, the mythical casual fan that we always talk about only knows that WWE exists and barely that. They don't know about any other companies. They still don't. They've never watched AEW. Trust me, I do on the street, man on the street legwork. Just like Colin says, I run up to people and say, for $1, what's AEW? For $1, you know? And and nobody knows what it is. And if they do, they don't watch it. Like the wrestling fans, the casual wrestling fans that I talk to, and yes, I do talk to them. And no, that doesn't mean interactions on social media. It means real flesh and blood people. And they say that none of them know what any other wrestling companies are.
I have a great joke to tell you off air about where you meet these casual viewers.
Oh, well,
and where
you're gonna say that you have a joke to tell me off air?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because it's hilarious, and it's where it's how you interrogate these people.
Right. No, it's just, you know, it's just talking to people like that I work with and other things. So, anyways, to answer your question, does Danhausen move the needle? No.
No. Enough Hausen of this mess Hausen. This is not the Impact Attack Hausen on Channel Attitude Hausen. Let's get back to talking about Impact Wrestling. And as we talked about on the Free for View, well, to start the show, we had a review. See, now, Vet, this is what I talk about. When you have a product or a show or anything like that, you have to treat it as if you've had someone watching it for the first time is like someone is watching it for the first time, basically. Is like, that's how you want to treat the product, right? So I like that Impact is now at the start of all of their shows. They're just basically giving us a rundown of what happened last week. So if you come in as a new viewer and you catch the very start of the show, you'll have a good idea of what has happened over the last week and or week or two. As we saw the last couple weeks, they had a long elongated version of the Moose and Morrissey stuff to start the shows. So I like what Impact's doing there. I think they probably took that from this show as some of the pros that they need to work on and things like that. It's good stuff. No?
Yeah, I could just imagine the people that decided they were going to become an Impact fan this night.
Yes. There's a lot.
And good thing we were able to catch them up on everything, right?
Maybe they saw their political fans, because maybe they saw where there was going to be like an Impact Knockouts like presidential address that they felt like there was something political there, you know, like maybe AOC was going to show up, Nancy Pelosi was going to be there, so. Sarah Palin was going to put somebody in a headlock. I don't, you know. No, nothing. All right. Well, we talked about the first match, and we talked about Matthew Raywalt joining Tom Hannafin on commentary, but he joined on commentary for a specific match to start the show. As we also had a little vignette of Caleb with a K backstage with Madison Rain, as there is no Tennille Dashwood. And
all right, hold on. Hold the fuck on. This is why I have to do this, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's reading off of.
I'm not reading off of anything. I'm going off of
none of this. Yeah, none of this is right.
I know I'm missing something right after the first match.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to that first match for a second, because one of the WWE refs that I hate apparently got released and hired by Impact, and no one noticed.
Yeah.
This guy's name is Derek Moore. He's the guy you may remember as the little referee that he would ref all the women's matches, and anytime anybody would do anything in the match, he'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get back in here! 1, 2, come on! What are you doing? Get back in here!" And then he would, like, if he'd get someone would get a near fall, he'd say, two count, 2. That guy. Yeah, he works at Impact now, so it's gonna be great. They really are a refugee camp. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like when I Googled this guy to try to find out what his name was, because obviously I didn't know. I just could not get a result on this. Like, I had to go to lists of current WWE referees that these people, as of January 2022, still think he works there. So, like, that's how I found his name, because no one even realized he doesn't work there anymore, and they didn't take him off their list. So, yeah. But he's there. So what Colin's referring to is the thing before the next thing is, so, and I already talked about this a little bit. Honor No More, the group. If you're just listening to Impact Attack for the first time, this includes the OGK, which is that one guy and that other guy. You know, those two forgettable white dudes, and one of them has a wife. And Frankenstein,
WWE
and the guy from House of a Thousand Corpses. And am I missing anybody?
Spalding.
Yeah, him.
That's about it.
Yeah,
Did I get them all?
Yeah.
Okay. So they just wander into the building, and they're like standing in the back of the, like, where the audience is, and they're like in the back row, just like standing there and yelling. And then that's like right before break, and when we come back from break, there's some Impact wrestlers in the ring ready to, meet them in a fight. They're holding that ring, they're holding the line. And then Scott D'Amore comes out and calls Honor No More, and I quote, this is what he called them, piece of shit carnies, which I assume he was trying to say carny piece of shit, which is the thing that Christian started trying to get over in AEW and maybe brought it over with him to Impact. And Scott D'Amore misremembered it. Maybe there was a Mandela effect there. I don't know. But anyways, there's a lot of shits back and forth between these guys yelling shit at each other. Literally, they're yelling the word shit at each other, but they're bleeping it, unlike AEW might do. So you're swearing on purpose, but it's not going to get used. So, I mean, does this make you more edgy or whatever? Anyway, somehow this turns into a PCO versus Sabin later tonight. Colin, you don't look like you approve of this. You don't look like you approve of any of this. You were very disappointed.
So stupid. It's just so stupid. The way D'Amore came out was like yelling at them. Like it's just so stupid.
He was trying to do the rally speech for Ring of Honor, like, we got guys like Jonathan Gresham. And then it's like, okay, all right. Okay.
Look, they want to hear the guards, more guards, because there were guards, more guards.
Guards, more guards.
To separate everyone. And then it's like, we've got, this is the thing that annoyed me, that they said that we've got Impact's best versus Ring of Honor's best. I don't see Moose in that ring. I don't see Morrissey in that ring, who I would assume are the two best that you have, because they're going for the title next time they fight, right?
Where's your X Division champion?
Where's your X Division champion? Where are your tag team champions? But no, we've got Swamak, we've got Eddie Edwards, and we've got Josh Alexander, who is, I would say, probably is up there. He's top 5.
Yeah, you'd put him in there.
He should be the leader of this group here. But no, it's Chris Sabin, who is kind of the leader of this group. Now, the other thing that bothered me about this promo.
Well, he's an invincible top guy. Nobody beats Chris Sabin.
We're gonna go back to Scott D'Amore here, who, as PCO's like, oh, who's gonna face Chris Sabin, and they're all trying to like talk to each other, and then PCO like comes charging, try to get over the thing. Scott D'Amore tells them to calm his mysterious ex-con down. I think that's what I heard on commentary, right? Like he's like telling, like he doesn't know his name. He's like, tell your mysterious ex-con man, right? And then literally 2 seconds later, he's like, I guess we're gonna have a match between Chris Sabin and PCO. Like, you didn't even know his fucking name 2 seconds ago, and now he's fucking PCO, right? Like, you couldn't just yell out, tell PCO to calm the fuck down or whatever. No, it's I don't know
because
he
thinks he's cutting him down. He thinks that's a diss. That's it's Scott D'Amore's mind. That's his passive aggressive way of, you know what I mean?
And then like again, the crowd. If the crowd is pro Impact, wouldn't the crowd just like jump? Like if this was ECW back in the day and John Cena was leading like a group of WWE guys through the crowd, they would like not
literal
make it
riot.
through
That's
the
actually what
crowd.
happened.
Yeah, there would be a riot in the arena that night because they would not have enough security to like keep them from. They would not. It would just be terrible.
Yep, guards, more guards. Nope, fresh out.
Fresh out of guards. But we're not fresh out of matchups because they're probably going to get a couple more of these matchups before we get to No Surrender. Who else?
Yeah.
We're going to get a tag match. So it's probably going to be Taven and Marcelia versus Swamak. And then
I can't wait. I can't wait, guys.
And then Mike Bennett versus Josh Alexander and Maria Kanellis versus Alicia.
Danhausen. Why not?
Big Ray. Why don't we
Bring
get
him in.
Alicia versus Big Ray?
I could see Alexander and PCO at some point.
Well, no, we're gonna get PCO tonight.
Yep, versus Chris Sabin.
Screw your idea, buddy. We don't care about that. We're just gonna waste it right off the gate. We're gonna send the invincible Frankenstein monster after our toughest guy, Chris Sabin. Yeah,
He
so
beat
anyway.
Moose
I know,
and
that's why
Ace Austin.
he's basically the uncrowned Impact champion.
I am Chris Sabin.
I'm Chris Sabin.
Oh, sorry, I got a little excited there. Sorry, my Chris Sabin fandom, like I just had this newfound Chris Sabin fandom all of a sudden. That I'm like a huge Chris Sabin fan. Like right
got
now
all
on the
of a
show,
sudden?
in the last like 10 seconds, like I just love Chris Sabin.
Well, if you
It's
were a
new.
new fan tuning
You know
in
this
for
guy,
the first
Chris Sabin.
time, do you think you'd feel the same way about Chris Sabin? You think out of all the people that they had to choose from to like, that a new fan would choose Chris Sabin right off the bat?
I got a new hand gesture now. Just randomly point in Michigan when we talk Chris Sabin. Yep.
Okay, so Caleb and Madison have to be on the same page, which essentially involves just him not thinking that he's going to win the Knockouts tag team titles. That's the same page they have to be on because
I
he
enjoyed
thinks
this
he's going
vignette.
to. He thinks he's going to.
And nice continuity over the fact that the last time they had that, they had to disqualify the titles with Eric and ODB.
That's some old callbacks there, some very old callbacks. But
I think a new fan would be lost on that. But
yeah, they didn't have that in the promo package to start the show. But
Right.
I did like how Caleb was very adamant that they were going to win the Impact titles, and Madison was just kind of like, when Tennille and I face the Iinsporation next week, this is scouting. Don't ruin this for us. Don't ruin this.
All right. So, Honor No More gets put in the storage room. So that according to Scott D'Amore, that 70 wrestlers don't beat the snot out of them. Now, this guy was just out here shitting up a storm, and now it's snot. Now it's beat the snot out of. We can't say it down here. So I don't know. Is this a no shit zone, like where he put him?
Maybe someone had a talking to with Scott D'Amore about how many shits they dropped earlier in the day at their taping. But
Standards and practices stepped in.
while we're down here in this boiler room, we get a surprise guest. Another surprise guest.
Yeah, maybe he's here to tell Scott D'Amore not to cuss so much on the air. I'm sure Sinclair Broadcasting would know all about that. But it's Cary Silkin. He actually wanders in to tell them, to tell those guys off, like, hey, you guys don't do what you're doing. or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't really listening. It's Cary Silkin, whatever. Any thoughts on this one?
I mean, kind of sounds like there's a little bit of like just like a little tease of airing out some like ROH dirty laundry a little bit, which I think they could be going to and building towards. I was actually when I was actually meant to bring this up a while ago at work, we actually had I think it was like the Bally channel, like Bally Total Fitness or whatever, and they were showing the Ring of Honor, and it said it was a Ring of Honor television show, but it was like a backstage, behind the scenes documentary almost, which was weird.
Well, that's how their show had been for a while before, they shut things down. So I don't know. That could definitely, I could see that.
I mean,
Ring of Honor on the Bally Total Fitness channel. That's the channel they got moved to.
This could be, I mean, they could work this Honor No More stuff into the Ring of Honor shows they have coming up that they have kind of announced in April, loosely announced for April.
I think that's probably where they're going with it, is kind of using Impact to build this story and kind of doing like the Honor No More versus the Honor people.
Where they're going to be their Honor No More versus Ring of Honor's best. Who do they still have? Jonathan Gresham takes on all of Honor No More.
I'm sure they've got other people.
Probably him.
Danhausen, for example.
Josh Woods. No, Danhausen's all elite now.
Is he?
I think so. I think he's fully signed.
Well, his biggest fan in the world as of 48 hours ago, Big Ray, would be able to tell us if he's officially signed. But again, what does a contract mean these days? He was in Ring of Honor. He could go back, and Tony would let him go back because he obviously doesn't think too highly of him if that's how he's going to debut him. So,
but if they didn't sign the contract in the ring, did it really happen, Vet?
That's a good point. I never saw any contract signed. I don't see here in the rules where it says a dog can't play football. Anyway, so next we get the influence versus the inspiration. Sort of. It's sort of the influence.
Kinda.
Caleb gets beat.
Maybe
I mean, that's basically all there is to say about this. He takes the fall in this. Inspiration get their shit, get their shit in, their pose in, it's pretty much whatever you'd want. So, but yeah, again, it's Caleb getting beat by a woman like it's no big deal. I don't know. I guess this is just Impact, right? That's what we do here. So I don't have much else to add to it. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything, but
if it's Caleb, it's
I wish they could have got a guy that, Caleb doesn't look very imposing compared to a lot of the guys.
It might be,
but compared to someone the size of Speedball Mike Bailey, let's say. I think that's more the size of a person that could be in this role, I think. Just my opinion. Caleb is a little jacked when he stands next to Cassie or Jesse or whatever the fuck their names are. So it looks silly, but whatever. We don't care.
So how many times in practice did you guys practice coming out to the ring and then climbing on the outside of the ring and then doing your pose? Because I was watching as these girls came out to do, the Inspiration came out to do their in-ring stuff, their entrance. And they synchronized jumping up on the side of the apron and kind of turning to the hard cam. And then they climbed in the ring and one did a hang off the ropes and the other one kind of put her knee through the ropes and stood upright. Is this something that you just do personally, or do y'all did Rip have you going through all kinds of Rip is up on the apron?
No,
showing y'all how to.
Dude, if anybody was doing anything like that in front of Rip Rogers, he would have said, "Get the fuck out! You're not over." There's no entrance practice. You fucking kidding me? That's for when you get to the WWE or something and you start marking out for yourself and you have to practice your entrance.
At the PC?
You have to get the timing right for the lighting and the pyro and all this other stuff. Nobody's practicing entrances.
Who teaches that class at the Performance Center?
Let's see, who do they have left?
Shawn Michaels is still there.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be Shawn
It's gonna
Michaels.
be
then.
Shawn. This is how
Which
you ride in
did
on a
anybody
zip line.
see at the Royal Rumble? Did anybody see AJ Styles do the HBK pose?
Mm-mm.
No.
He came out, whatever number he was, number
Watch
3 or whatever. He did the HBK muscle pose with the leg out. So, do they know something we don't know? Are they desperate for main eventers at WrestleMania? They're gonna get.
I think he said he's always kind of wanted that match.
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah.
dream match of him and Shawn.
Yep.
They could do enough punchy kick stuff too, where Shawn doesn't have to take too many bumps and things like that. Like AJ will sell all over that fucking ring for Shawn, and then
Yeah.
do the "I love you" super kick and pin him like Flair.
Or what if they both oversold Alan Michaels from SummerSlam 05?
Look, Canada Spaceman saw it.
Yep. Eagle-eyed Canada Spaceman saw it through his helmet, his space helmet, his astronaut helmet.
His haze, his 420 haze.
Yeah. Well, that
He's
thing
always-
flips up, right? So you can see. So Jake something, and Speedball.
That's right. He was number 1. Vet. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Liz brought up.
Oh,
a good
okay,
point.
yeah, whatever.
He was number 1.
I didn't remember who was what.
Yeah, because he was number 1 and Shinsuke was number 2. That's right.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, either way, he did it. And that might be why he did it, or maybe. Anyway, Jake something and Speedball they're backstage having a chat, and then Ace and Madman come in, and then Gale comes in, and then somehow this all ends up in a match next week with these 4 guys against Bullet Club.
What?
So, Bullet Club,
What?
Bullet Club.
I guess because the other 5 guys are dealing with Honor No More. You just had these 4 guys who had no interaction with Bullet Club before this.
They got no problem with Honor No More. They're actually cool with them. You know, they're fine with them beating up everybody else. More spots open for them then.
Why wouldn't? Which the obvious is why wouldn't they do VBD and the Good Brothers against these guys? Like that's who Gorillas of Destiny is coming for. They're not coming for Ace Austin and Madman.
Because Colin, the Bullet Club needs a warm-up match to get over,
right.
and then they can.
Who takes the pin in that match?
Madman Fulton, of course.
You sure it's not Jake something?
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying the way they treat Madman Fulton, he's even lower on the totem pole than you.
Let us
Take
know.
Madman Fulton and Jake something. They should form a tag team of the guys who should kill everybody but do jobs for the smallest people we have. That should be their tag team name. I know it's a mouthful, but you can come up with an abbreviation of some kind, I think, and it'll work out.
Let us know who takes the pin in Impact of Honor B Team versus the Bullet Club.
Okay. And then we get a vignette for Giselle Shaw, the quintessential diva. And last time we saw this, we didn't really talk about it, but they put just a thing that said quintessential diva or whatever, and then there was no footage, right? Is that right, Brandon? They didn't have any footage last time, but this time they had some footage. It was of a girl, and then she gets mad and hurts people. So
Isn't that the
if
point?
you're into that. And then speaking of the Good Brothers and Violent by Design, they're right here to provide us 2 straight minutes of exposition. It's like, hey guys, I can't believe we're all standing here in the Impact Zone backstage. Anyways, can you believe that the Bullet Club is a thing? Well, we used to be a thing, and we're gonna fight that thing. Terrible.
We need your help.
Yeah. It's just fucking... It's goddamn fucking right.
It's a business
Just who-
proposition.
Like, this is definitely for those people that have never watched Impact before. It's like, it's sitcom exposition 101. Except it's not funny. So, anyway, Gale brings out, with all the knockouts surrounding the ring, Gale brings out Mickey James.
She came out to this fanfare too. It was crazy. like I don't.
I thought it was hardcore country. Which, so
Oh,
you
was it
remember?
Head to the Chief?
Remember what we talked about last week about Mickey James in the Rumble? Like, if we were Mickey James, we'd be like, I'm only coming in if we get these concessions, right?
Yep.
Well,
She got him.
she got them.
No, she looked
So-
amazing in this episode of Impact Wrestling too. Oh my gosh, Brandon,
Yeah.
we'll have to get your thoughts on her outfit. I mean, Canada Spaceman is going crazy in the chat, but we're here for a presidential address.
I need one
that
of those of my own later on when it's when it's time.
when it's time. Yeah, we'll have our Knockouts champion who is addressing all the other knockouts here. That
So she's giving the the speech about how everybody's great and the knockouts are cool, and then my next note here is who gave Deanna a mic.
yeah, she was the only one that had a mic. Yeah,
she's like, she tears Deanna down before she builds her up by saying, even though you're personally the worst person I ever met, but whatever, but you brought it and whatever. And then Deanna, it's like, she just has a microphone and she's like, I don't see any reason I should sit here and take this, so I'm leaving. And it's like, okay, like this would have been cool if, for example, right? Mickey James is talking and you see Deanna walk over to the desk or something and grab an extra microphone and be like, but instead it just cuts to her with a mic already. So that's just one of those little details that just lets you know everything's phony and staged. And then
the number 3 knockout women's, like the number 3 knockout women, like wrestler in Impact, I think you're deserving of a microphone whenever you want one, right? Does she not have privileges to just walk around with one?
you would think so, but wait, Colin.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
This evolves.
There's more?
So Mickey is going and saying this is before the Royal Rumble, so now we know in retrospect this did not happen, but she's saying she wants to go title for title at WrestleMania after she wins the Royal Rumble. Okay, so she's saying that as Deanna, fucks off up the ramp. Then my next note is, who gave Chell a mic? Because now Chelsea Green has a mic, and I'm sorry, Brandon, I don't mean to cut down your lady here, but she's in there and she's basically just like begging for a shot at Mickey's title, and it's an embarrassing kind of thing. And but yeah, again, now she has a microphone. She just appears with a microphone.
Oh wow, Chelsea
It was
appears.
probably Matt. That was probably Matt's microphone.
Yeah, a wild Chell appears, yeah, so she begs for a title shot, and this is like weird. So then
Chelsea Green has evolved into a hot mess.
yeah, well, what? Chelsea stopped evolving. Looks like someone hit the B button on that. So my next note is, who gave Tasha a mic? Because now we're hearing from outside. We hear
mic in that
boo, boo, which I'm inclined to agree, but still, can you imagine what it must have looked like in the arena? Like if you're a fan and you're watching, and then you see like some guy like shuffle down, below the ring apron and like hand somebody a microphone. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're seeing this, they don't just have the mics with them, or maybe they did. Or maybe you're sitting there and you're staring and you're looking at these girls and you're like, why are some of them holding microphones? And why are they just waiting to talk if they're all holding microphones? There's no way this could come off as genuine and realistic in the presentation. There's no way they could have done it unless, like I said, Deanna grabs it first from someone and then leaves it somewhere. Then the camera shows like Chelsea run over, pick up the drop mic, go pick it up, and then leave that somewhere. And then Tasha can't do it because Chelsea never really lets go of it. So at any point, you've got 4 live microphones in this segment. Yeah, this shit's real.
Was Gail Kim out there still?
I think she was out there. Maybe, I don't know. She might have left, but
Because I also got confused when Deanna was screaming about like being the best, and she was like, I'm not number 2 when she looked at Mickey, because I guess Mickey's like, because they already said like Gail Kim was the greatest.
I think Gail stayed off to the side after she introduced.
But she looked towards Jordan Grace when she was I think she played to look at Gail Kim, But when she turned, like Gail wasn't on that side of the ring because it was Jordan Grace and I forgot who, and I think the Iinsporation were standing on that side of the ring. So it's like when she turned and was like, "You're not even the number one knockouts person." I'm like, "Oh, maybe Gail Kim's standing over there." But then throughout the shot, like they would go back and show it, and you would just see the Iinsporation and Jordan Grace just kind of standing in that direction. So I'm like, "Oh, she's just yelling off in whatever land now." As she storms off, and we get a "na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye" chant that they all join in on.
Yeah, because that's not WWE either. So anyways, so Tasha's, saying what she says, and then she gives Mickie James that big phony X to the breadbasket. Oh man. And then some fake pro wrestling fighting ensues, including Tasha giving somebody a running European uppercut in the corner. Cause that's the best move too when you're in a street fight. Get somebody up against the dumpster and just run down the alley, then run back and give him that European uppercut to the chest.
UFC fights I've seen end in flying European uppercuts.
I do. The number is 0. But
you were correct.
But your point is well taken. So I thought this was the idea for this started out fine, but it just kind of fell apart into stupidness. I mean, anything to add, or we can do the Chelsea putover minute right now if we want.
Well, it's the obvious. It's the obvious. There's going to be a tag team match. Now we're going to have Chelsea and Mickie James versus Tasha and Savannah Evans now. Like, that's probably what we'll get on BTI or some.
Couldn't have got Teddy Long for this to announce this?
They could. They should have.
Holla player.
Maybe there was a little bit of room in that budget after they hired Tom to bring back Teddy
and
Long.
Bought 4 mics.
Brought 4 mics. Yeah, as Canada Spaceman says, backstage, what Vet is not going to talk about after this segment is that they go backstage, and Scott D'Amore was yelling about how he didn't know that Impact Wrestling had that many microphones, and what the hell is going on around here.
Did that really happen? It could have happened. I might have missed it.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. It was on my stream. I don't know if it was on yours or not.
Okay. So anyway, Chelsea putover minute before we move on.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh yeah, looking amazing as always. Always.
Oh yeah, what was she wearing then?
I think he was more enamored with,
I actually
with
forgot.
Mickie James. Yeah, he was more enamored with Mickie James stole the show.
Yeah, I can picture what Mickie James is wearing.
Yeah, Mickie James
easily.
Oh my gosh. That black sequin thing with that deep V cut.
That belt.
Liz was scared that her boobs were gonna fall out.
Was she though? Were any of us?
I'm mighty tiny whitey and I'm smuggling plums.
Yes. Bloodhound Gang. All right, what's next on the agenda there, Betty?
So next on the agenda is that Burt Macklin, FBI, bullies Gia for no good reason. And then Jonathan Gresham challenges him to a match next week. But this won't be just any match. It will be just any match. It's just a regular match. He challenges him to a regular match. But for Jonathan Gresham, that's a big deal. I mean, as a spokesperson for Pure Wrestling and the Ring of Honor champion that he wants to contest under Pure Rules, calling out a man for a regular match might as well be like an exploding barbed wire, piranha glass light tube death match with electrified ropes.
That's true. Vet, Impact Wrestling isn't the only thing that you and I influence. As I noticed the other day, that we have influenced a Twitter follower to change his name. He's in on the gimmick, Vet, I believe. I don't know who this gentleman is, but
I can't really see that.
He is Burt Macklin 11. His name is Burt Macklin. So I think that came from us. I don't know too many people who were calling him Burt Macklin before the Impact attack. So
who was he before?
I don't even remember.
Is this just who is it? I can't even see that screen.
His guy's name's like his actual tag is at Burt Macklin 11, and then his name is Burt Macklin.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Burt Macklin.
I don't necessarily want
There's
to take
Burt
credit
Macklin
for that,
fans
but
out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah, the show ran for like 8 seasons.
No Impact, Burt Macklin.
All right. Speaking of Pure Rules and shit, we got some Terminus footage. Not the one where they're eating everybody, but the one where they're having wrestling matches under Pure Rules. And so we get Jordan Grace versus Hulk Hogan here out of retirement, brother. No way, it's just it's Kira Hogan. Sorry.
You're getting no, don't you? How dare you?
So we see her get a win at Terminus, and then we see Jordan with Gia and no music underneath. She sends a series of internet-based cut-downs Matt Cardona's way, saying things such as, like, I know you used to be the internet champion back when MySpace was a thing, and oh, whoa, you didn't think that was a sick burn, guys? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's never truly a burn if you like try to talk shit about somebody being from a long time ago. If you know things from a long time ago, it just means you were there also. So
I'll hit you up on ICQ, Matt.
Yeah,
you might have been younger, but you're old enough to remember it.
Oh, my away message is gonna say that I'm gonna still be the Digital Impact champion after no surrender. That's what my away message
not
was.
as cool as that sounded. It wasn't as cool as
it's not as cool as her other roasts either.
Yeah. So,
because you can't.
Any other thoughts on this, or are we ready to just?
Let's get rid of Jordan Grace. Let's go.
I will say that the commentary team for Terminus, whoever that was, is probably. I don't think they're going to find work in Impact anytime soon. So Morrissey is out against the Learning Tree that has a few more branches on it this week.
New members.
Yeah. Dude.
Just go ahead.
Whatever about this match where he just beats up 10 guys by himself. That's beside the point. More to the point, things like this. They announced Morrissey as, quote, over 6'10". What the hell kind of a announced height is that? Why don't you just say exactly how tall you are? If you're over 6'10", say how much more over 6 foot. If you're going to bother to not say 7 feet, which is the whole catchphrase and everything, just say exactly how many. Standing at 6'10" and 3/4 inches, just say how much it is, or round it up, or it's either 6'10", 7 feet, over 7. You don't say over 7 feet either. That's a dumbass thing to say too. Say how tall they are. And on another note, like, this is like, I'm not saying this just to be mean, but it's starting to concern me. His back knee looks like it's boils now. Like, that's the size that they are. Oh, and they're also on his chest. His back knee's on his chest. It's getting worse.
Are we gonna get gynecomastia like Jinder Mahal had that one time? Or is just boob is just popping out?
Well, different side effects for different people. His chest looks okay, except for the fact that, it's a pepperoni pizza from, Pizza Hut.
Domino's.
It's not even Domino's. It's Pizza Hut with the extra grease because he's oiled up. He's nice and oiled up. Yeah. So, anyway, the main point of this that's very exciting is that Moose attacks after good old W beats 9 guys. Moose attacks from behind, and with the help of the 9 guys, gets over on him, and he's left laying. Morrissey is left laying as Moose stands tall with the help of the 9 guys.
Is that his new learning tree
Couldn't
now?
beat him up when he was, he couldn't beat him up in their match, but they could beat him up here at this point. After they were all beaten up, they can beat him up. See what I'm saying about that? Don't I always say that? Like, it's usually the thing where the guy beats the guy's ass for the entire match. Then, he gets his ass beat. Then the guy gets rolled up. So he's not hurt. He just gets rolled up in a pin and loses, and then continues to beat the guy up, which is like, okay, why do you beat him up after you just, you had the whole match to beat the guy up? So these guys had the whole match to beat up Morrissey, and then Moose comes in, and all of a sudden they're all like, it's 9 Ultimate Warriors. So, yeah, great booking there. Any thoughts on that? Any other things to add?
Moose instilled a fair bit of courage that Brian Myers couldn't instill in those guys. Vet, come on, man. You're looking at the real champion.
Yeah.
You're looking at the real man right there in the ring.
You're looking at the real deal now. Oh no, he's still out. He's still out for 2 weeks after one.
Wait till Roman Reigns has to acknowledge our tribal chief, Moose. Okay. After he gets done dealing with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar.
Sorry.
I mean, it did kind of make Brian Myers look a little better by standing up to, getting right in Morrissey's face.
Did he?
I think he did, yeah.
Is this when Morrissey was laying on the mat?
No, I think he might have been.
Did he go over to the table during commentary or at some point or something?
No, I want to say Myers actually got up off of commentary and got in the ring and got up in Morrissey's face. I don't 100% remember, but I know he confronted him.
I have to go back and watch that. I can't remember.
Wow.
He's a crazy man if he did. That's not what you do. He's not teaching his pupils the right way to do things.
No, he's not. So I don't want to see the learning tree with Moose though. So let's just
come
get
on. That would
clear.
be gold. Comedy gold. The learning tree with Moose.
Yeah. So PCO, speaking of crazy people, is making the camera's got a close up of him making faces. So I don't want to know what he's doing, and I'm glad it was on close up and not pulled back because it was probably going to be inappropriate.
He was Jeffrey Tubining himself.
Okay. And so next we get Raj Singh, right? Is that who this guy is? I can't keep track of these names. None of these guys are named what they're named. Veer? It was a Veer? No, it wasn't Veer because he was there.
He was here tonight. Well, Monday.
Dude, they did not put Veer in the Rumble. That was a layup. It would have been the biggest pop he'd ever going to get. He would have got the bigger pop of anybody that night. And they totally fucked it off. What are they ever going to do? There's only one place that you could build up for that long and actually pay it off some way. And that's the Royal Rumble, where everybody's like waiting for a surprise entrant.
You know where they paid it off at, Vet?
No.
The Monday night after Rumble.
Did they pay it off? I didn't even watch it yet.
Veer has come. The Monday night.
He didn't get involved in that segment with Brock and Lashley at the beginning, did he?
No, I don't think so.
That's where he should have came. He should have beat both their asses. Fuck it. Veer's taking the belt to WrestleMania. How about that?
I saw a picture of somebody posted of him in the ring at the WWE show. So maybe he wrestled dark. I don't know if he was on TV tonight because Liz is saying they had another vignette. But I saw a picture of him in the ring. So, and this was
on main event. He wrestles on main event.
Sean Ross Sapp. Credible sources.
That's the real rib because he says he's coming to Raw every week, and for the live crowd, they probably see him wrestle every week. So like, what are you talking about? He's already here.
Sean Ross Sapp. I paid my $5 for him to lie to me.
Anyway, so this is Raj, and he's got some other guy coming in next week that's not Veer. His name is Pupinder something. I didn't quite catch the last name because everybody said it differently. Like they had 3 different guys say it, and they all said it differently. So I don't know what Pupinder's last name is, but there's that guy that I already forgot his name. He walks in and talks himself into a match with Pupinder. So, what is this fucking short guy's name, Brandon?
Oh damn it!
John something.
Oh, John Schuyler.
John Schuyler. He's that guy that when he showed up, we were like, "Who the fuck is this? And what is he doing here? And why do we care?" And we're still saying that all these weeks later. Right? We are saying that, right? It's not just me. We don't care about John Schuyler. Does anybody care about John Schuyler? One's in the chat if you care about John Schuyler.
That should be his gimmick. Who the fuck is John Schuyler?
Who the fuck is that? Well, they bleeped that out. We know that. We should say, who the snot is John Schuyler? Clean it up. So look forward to that. John Schuyler versus Pupinder something.
I will.
No relation to Jake something.
I will be right back. I am having some technical difficulties as my monitor just shut off and I can't see anything. So,
well, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you
no,
hear us?
I don't. It's just I have a blank screen. My monitor looks like it's still on. I went to go pull up that Sean Ross Sapp thing of Veer that I saw, and my screen just went black. Fucking Sean Ross
Oh
Sapp destroyed my
shit.
computer.
He's hacking you, bro.
Hacking me, bro.
Don't
Get
hack
your
me, bro.
$5 back.
Like I'm just gonna turn my mic down while I try to troubleshoot this, so you guys will probably still see me because I can't even turn the mic off. Or anything.
All right, well, hurry up because we don't have much left. We got the chat will like this. Johnny Swinger has a match, and he's got a match, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, with Jonah. So, Colin, can you do the pose real quick, even though it's in the dark? Thank you. Oh, we have some light. He may have fixed it.
I think I'm back.
Dan
ladies
Lambert
and
was in the
gentlemen.
crowd here.
I am
What do you
back.
think about
I am
that?
back.
What do you think about that, Colin?
What? Huh? What?
Dan Lambert in the crowd.
You know, it's cool if he's gonna bring some guys from Florida with him. You know, maybe we could see like Paige
Lance
Van
Archer
Zandt,
or
Paige
no?
Van Zandt.
the Men of the Year? What?
Men of the Year, maybe. Yeah, that would be fun. Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos. Any of these other guys that they bring in that he brings to AEW, we could get them in the thing. That'd be fun.
All right, so full confession here.
Oh my gosh, it just did it again. What the fuck?
Jeez. That's what you get for your bad booking ideas. Full confession here. So this is a match with Swinger and Jonah. Brandon, so like I put the 2x speed on my player, and it looked like they were moving normally. So God knows what this match looked like if you just watched it.
He's slow and plotty.
Oh God. It didn't last long, thankfully.
Kind of squash, basically.
Yeah, literally a squash. He squished Johnny Swinger with his tsunami, and then they had a few extra sentons that didn't look like they were worked very well. So Swinger's basically a pancake after this, and then DK sort of like looms over Swinger on the outside of the ring as Jonah walks by. So DK's still carrying over some stuff from Wrestle House, I think. I think it's best if you just pretend that never happened, but apparently they don't agree. They also had like a little something before. Do you remember what they said to Swinger in the hallway?
Oh yeah, he's got this about his new school. Wrestling school he's opened up called the Dungeon.
Really? Is that a real thing, or is that just a
It's
story?
It's
Is it anything like Ken Anderson's training school?
that might have been the inspiration for it.
That could have been. Here is a picture of Veer at the Raw taping. So, like you said, Vet, it probably was for like a main event or something like that. But Sean Ross Sapp and them were blowing their load like he actually came on Raw.
Heyo.
Yep. Well, if you got Hulu, you can enjoy main event as well every week, and you've probably been seeing lots of Veer. Or if you remember Veer from when he was already on Raw before, you'd also enjoy lots of Veer. Anyway, back to this though. We get the main event of PCO versus Chris Sabin. Now, this is definitely a case of the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object here, because how do you kill an undead monster? You send in the guy that can't lose. And actually, unbelievably, Sabin loses. I cannot believe it. That would have been a perfect chance for a spit take right there. But I understand that this equipment is precious and you can't afford to damage it. So, comedy aside, yes, this was a match between PCO and Sabin. Any thoughts?
Why Sabin? There's
Because he can't be defeated and he's the strongest. Any other questions? Any other bright genius questions?
I think we asked that question at the start when they first were kind of coming. It's like, why is he the one? Why we've got Josh Alexander, we've got Willie Mack, we've got Rich Swann. I mean, if Chris Sabin's this unbeatable Goldberg of Impact, why is he jobbing the PCO? I mean, he's from here. All ass kickers come from here or here.
Well, what's the best
Or
way
here.
to show how deadly and serious that Honor No More is than by taking out Impact's basically their Goldberg, their 98 Goldberg.
It's true. It's true. Good point.
So
Great shirt.
now we're supposed to think, oh my God, if they can beat Chris Sabin, no one is safe. Anybody can get defeated, especially Moose. What if they take the Impact title from Moose?
No.
You beat the guy that beat Moose?
No.
That ain't happening.
How dare you say things like that? Don't let Moose hear you talking about things like that.
I'm scared.
Me too. God,
Anyway.
it's like if Big Ray just came on the show right now. Well, nobody wants that.
Right.
I'm scared. I'm scared, Vet. I'm scared that Matt Taven's going to beat Moose.
I do find it curious that the Impact Champion has very little to say, probably nothing at all to say about this entire invasion of his company. It's like he's distancing himself from this and doesn't want to be a part of it. I'm not necessarily saying that he should, but you would kind of think that if we're booking the territory here and we're looking at the pieces that we have to play with, if somebody's going to do an invasion angle, the champion of my company is going to have some concern about this. At the very least, he's going to be berating Scott D'Amore for allowing his work environment to become like compromised, jeopardized, any other kind of eyes do you want
Vet, just keep
oxidized.
him as far away from this as possible because we saw what happened last time Moose got involved in an invasion angle from another company. He did the job. To Kenny Omega.
Oh my God.
And that wasn't even an invasion. That was a working agreement. Everybody was friendly about
An
it.
opening of the forbidden door.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna I'm gonna cordially come in and take
Go
your
over on
championship.
Moose.
Just gonna take your championship. No big deal. You know, Rich Swann was, he doesn't need it. I'll just take that from him. Give me the championship.
Side of you.
Well, after the match, we had Honor No More rush out to the ring and start attacking everyone, and then the other four gentlemen that will be doing battle with Chris Sabin rush out as well to make the save. And poor Vinny gets caught in an ankle lock and gets his shoe ripped off for his trouble.
Shoe?
Yeah, that wasn't his foot. That was just his shoe.
Well, why was he wearing a shoe?
I don't know. He
Just
had
so this
shoes
spot could happen?
Yeah, just for this spot, he was wearing shoes. Yes.
This guy shows up barefoot, walking around everywhere. He's probably got all kinds of
Hey, we're gonna have the guy that doesn't wear shoes do the shoe spot.
yeah. I wouldn't be touching his feet. He's probably got worms or something.
That's
At this
true.
point.
He hangs out in the graveyard.
Probably doesn't
Yeah,
trim his
it's gross.
toenails either.
Yeah. Ugh.
You think they're like
But he-
Big Ray's toenails?
Well, you can speak to that, Colin. I don't know anything about it.
They're pretty disgusting. It's pretty gross.
Okay. Take your word for it.
You know how you enjoy how Kimberly looks?
No.
That's much like how Big Ray's feet look.
I very much enjoyed how Maria looked tonight.
Maria's looked really good the last 3 episodes she's been on Impact Wrestling. Look, he said he's done. He didn't like that we make fun of his feet. Oh. And we grossed out Liz. I'm sorry, Liz. My plan worked in getting rid of Big Ray so that Vet can have a Big Ray free show.
I thought Quentin Tarantino was in the chat room.
Aha! Take that. Now that's
All
how
right.
you cut somebody down. You hear that, Jordan Grace?
Sorry, I was a little late on the laughter there. We are recorded live in front of a live studio audience. They're just a little slow. They've had some drinks tonight.
And they leave when we talk about feet.
They do. They definitely leave when we
Studio
talk,
audience filing
about
out.
feet.
Slowly.
Let's see. Nothing else? Do you guys have anything else about the show that we saw tonight? Nothing else.
I've been noticing Impact's been stringing together like last few shows since Hard to Kill have been like consistently like improvements.
I feel like they've done. I mean, commentary's better. I feel like some of the storylines are a little bit better, but I feel like they've definitely still have room for improvement.
Oh, definitely.
They got a lot of room for improvement. But I like what they're doing with the women's division. Vet,
Handing them all microphones.
We need more microphones. But thoughts on Tasha Steelz? Where do you really see like rate her? Like her mic skills are really good. She seems to be decent enough in the ring, and she's still green, in terms of what you've said about Rip Rogers, where how many years have you been in the business? 13. So you've had 13 matches, like kind of what you say, like she's still young in that sense, but I feel like she's got a lot of upside. Do you feel that same way, Vet and Brandon?
Everybody that's that short has a lot of upside. There's nowhere to go
Wish
but
I
up.
could be baller. Wish I could be taller. Wish I had.
Where's my laugh track?
Yeah, really the only thing holding her back is her size, but in the business there are ways around that. And having, Savannah by her side is one of them.
Yeah, a lot of little people. She's not even the littlest. You know what I mean? So, she's very little, though. No, I mean, her problem is, so far, is really just the psychology that she employs. To the point of her being small. She does not work small enough. But she's a heel. So, that's actually one of the easiest ways to get heat, because everybody sees you being smaller, and if you actually act like you're smaller and then do things that make sense to take advantages in the matches, you get even more heat. So if you're already small and you're cheating, then people are like, instead of getting sympathy, they're like, fuck you, why can't they just beat her up? She's so small. Come on, the only reason that she's even winning is because she, scratched the eyes or, kicked the knee out or whatever she did.
And working spots that get Savannah involved too.
Right. Getting over is not doing a running European uppercut in the corner or doing a one-handed snapmare on somebody that's like 3 times your size, or any of the other stuff that Tasha Steelz just does that just ignores her opponent and is acting like she's working a same size match. Like everybody is 5 foot, 86 pounds. It's not the case. You can have that match with, a Red Velvet. You can't have that match with Havoc. It's just you can't do it. So if she can address that, she's got everything else that you need to do as well as she wants to. But as for the show itself, the show feels more urgent. It feels more live, if you will. Like there's an atmosphere that the previous Impact tapings have always felt canned and taped and fake and prepackaged and, not good. This feels like more immediate, I guess. It's the only way I can describe it. Like the lighting is different. The cameras are different.
Spontaneous and organic.
We're not going to go that far, but more so than it was, right? More than it was. So now it's like a home cooked meal. Maybe it's your kid making breakfast for you. Like they're trying their best. But it's not just like a box of, it's not just like a styrofoam cup of ramen noodles or whatever, it's like something. So they're addressing that aspect of it, and they are making little nips and tucks here and there. Some of it based on things that we say, like not even kidding, just clearly based on feedback from this exact podcast, and other things that they probably thought of addressing themselves, that, give the show a better presentation. But now that they've got the look and feel kind of dialed in somewhat, now they've got to start addressing the logic and the structure. And that shit should be easy enough, because if you have ideas, all you have to do is say, well, how can we make this real? And how can we fit this along with everything else we're doing? It's very easy to not have 2 invasion angles on the same show. All it takes is one person to raise their hand and say, there's 2 invasion angles on the show. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll do something different with Bullet Club then. That's all it takes.
Scott didn't care. He's not coming out yelling about Bullet Club.
Yeah. But the thing about it is when you do a show like this where you're taping weeks in advance, now apparently they probably only taped 2 weeks because last time they were in Texas ever since Hard to Kill. Now they're apparently in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So instead of like 3 or 4 weeks of tapings, that was only like two weeks worth of tapings. So that gives you a better turnaround too, because if you do something shitty for that entire set of tapings, you're locked in for that entire set of tapings and you just got to let it play out, right? So with this, with a shorter turnaround, you can address things quicker, which is also good. And we'll see if they do. I can't say that I have no faith that they will, because I do see Impact doing things and making changes. But I also see them being a refugee camp. And that can get weird. It just adds more to everyone's plate having to deal with all these people coming in and stuff. So, and I noticed, like, I don't know if any of you guys follow El Fantasmo on Instagram. I doubt that you do. But he had a post where he, like, it was a post, but it was like in the Instagram stories, and it was like a series of text only posts. And he outlined the entire process by which he has to fly back and forth from Japan to the States or Canada. And he took the post down, so you can't see it. And it was a story anyway, so it was going to go down. But he had like an entire page worth of things talking about like what he's got to do, how long he's got to quarantine, where he's got to quarantine, for how many days, the proof of vaccination that is required, that isn't accepted, so he has to get a different one, or this test result isn't as accepted as this test result, and all this other stuff. So when you see guys like God, Jay White not being in New Japan like they're supposed to be, or whatever, any of these other guys that you see on New Japan Strong, like, because it's so cumbersome to get in and out of the country and back and forth, you're going to see a lot of guys like that are under the New Japan contract probably showing up working in stateside promotions just because it's easier for them. So, and let's face it, besides Jay White, most of them are sort of marginal at best. So they're not really missed when you watch New Japan. So, you know, it's not going to be too crazy to see Jay White around a lot more, because I'm sure he doesn't want to fly back and forth, you know, and doing that thing. I'm pretty sure he lives in the United States too. So, it's just a little much for him, but it's not like they completely forgot about him, because Gato is still wearing his King Switch t-shirt and he's still saying, "I miss you, King." So, you know, they haven't forgot about Jay White. It's just, everybody's going to be kind of waiting out this world's craziness, before, you know, they can get back to business as usual. So we might be seeing a little bit more New Japan contracted talent stateside is my point. And as Elizabeth said, more Jay White is never a bad thing. You tell me about it. I'm mad that we're only now getting this Jay White here. We could have had him for weeks and weeks. But yeah.
Sorry. Let's see. Sorry. All right, perfect. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these travel things will start to loosen up here soon, Vet, because I feel like a lot of countries are starting to overturn some of these things. We'll see if some of these major countries like Canada and Japan and North America kind of backturn on some of these things. But over in the UK, I think Sweden, some of these other countries, they're actually reversing their mandates and a lot of their passports and things like that. So we could get more talent here in the next year or so, if any of these mandates go away for some of these bigger countries.
Well, I'll say the same thing that I said regarding Sweden when everybody was talking about when all this shit first started and everybody was saying, "Well, look how low Sweden's case count is." I'll say the same thing now I said then. No one's fucking going there. That's not a destination country. Nobody needs to go there. People need to go to North America, Canada, England, Japan, Mexico for business things. The Middle East is places like, you know what I mean? UAE. You're like, people need to go to those places. Nobody fucking needs to go to Sweden. Nobody gives a shit about Sweden. I'm sorry, Sweden. Nothing against you, but just not really like the international travel hub of the world right now. So of course you're going to be overturning mandates, and of course you're not going to have that many cases because there just aren't as many people that need to leave and come back and spread this shit. Anyway.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for your Impact Attack here on channelattitude.com and on the Hamid Media Group YouTube channel and over at the Hamid Media Group Podbean at hamidmediagroup.podbean.com, or is it hmg.podbean.com? I never posted stuff on the affiliate channel, so I don't know what the correct URL is. If anyone in the chat wants to help me out and drop that URL for the HMG Podbean, that would be greatly appreciated. One's in the chat if you want to help me out. Two's in the chat. If not, link in the chat if you are the true all-star of the chat here at your Impact Attack. Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me on all the socials as well as Twitch at Miss Tia the Transarchist. Also every Monday on the Impact Attack with these two fine gentlemen every Monday night.
Very fine. Very fine. I'm not Chris Sabin fine. Like, I don't get the music like you do. And Vet doesn't either. But we're not as fine as you, but he and I are equally as fine, right? Like, you're here and
just take the compliment and shut up and let him finish his plugs.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm done.
And he's done. Vet, what about you?
Well, you can find me telling Colin to shut up every week right here on the Impact Attack, as always. You might find me telling him to shut up in chat form only when he starts his ridiculously random podcast with Big Ray. So if you can't get enough of the shenanigans of these two, then you'll be able to catch them, and you may catch me trying to ruin their good time. Which would also include the Next Level Wrestling Review. That's where me and Ray try to have a good time every week, and we hope you do too. A lot of rumors swirling around about NXT, but I don't think anything's going to happen to it. The most thing is going to happen is they might just change the name, but who cares? They change a lot of names down there. Haven't you noticed? Gunther. So we'll be fine. And you can find us there. Like, that's every Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. You can catch us there. And you never know where else I might pop up, but At Opinion Haver should take care of all of your needs, regardless. Colin?
All right. Thank you, Vet. And you can find me at Colin Weissong on Twitter, at Colin Weissong on Facebook, at Colin Weissong on Instagram. You can find me Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/The A Show with April Hunter and Aaron Stevens, as we have a special guest, Jimmy G, not the Jimmy G from The Infinite Fringe or any of the shows that you know as Billy Ray Valentine. This Jimmy G is Jimmy, I'm going to butcher his last name, and he is a Reiki master, and he will talk about self-care and how Reiki works and the benefits of massage chakras.
Oh,
this man is, let's see, he is owner of Advanced Massage Arts and Education in Tempe, Arizona. He is also, we're going to have another legendary Hall of Famer on the A Show, as we've had Mick Foley. And now we're having Jimmy G, as he is a 2018 inductee to the Massage Therapy Hall of Fame.
Is there such a thing?
Yes, that's a real thing.
Wow.
So his hands are so good, they're probably enshrined in bronze. Do you think that's what they
won't
do?
be good
Like-
anymore after that. Then
Like, do you think like much like the Hall of Fame where they have their busts and stuff like that? Do you think like they have their hands or like their table? Like this is Soft Hands Joe Jackson. This was the table he used to massage 5,000 people in a matter of weeks. Like
yeah, no face because you wouldn't know anyway, right? You're gonna be have face down in the table.
Face
You're not
down
gonna
in
see
the
what they
table.
look like. So
the golden table.
just the hands. Yeah. Nice.
We will not be. As well as the A Show, you can catch me each and every week at Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a little show that Big Ray and I are going to be doing called the Ridiculously Random Podcast. It's a little ridiculous. It's a little random. It's the Ridiculously Random Podcast over at twitch.tv/ The Ridiculously Random Pod. And you can find us on Twitter at Your Random Pod. You can find us on YouTube at The Ridiculously Random Podcast. You can email the show at yourrandompod@gmail.com. Get into that ridiculously random mail sack. And who knows, maybe Big Ray and I will read your mail on the air. Homeboy88 is now in the chat. And we've also got, let's see, Canada Spaceman. Will everybody be here? One's in the chat if you're going to be here Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me go ahead and put my one in the chat. I'm going to be here. One's in the chat.
Oh, and speaking of times, yeah, Liz caught my mistake. I meant to say 11 Eastern for the Next Level Wrestling Review. 8 Pacific is where the 8 comes from. Sorry. That's my time. I'm on Pacific time.
You West Coasters and your specific time.
Sorry, we're just so laid back. We're always 3 hours behind everyone else. But
So laid back. He's going to be enjoying the Ridiculously Random Podcast
that's
Wednesday at
Certainly.
7 p.m. Pacific Standard
Pacific
Time
time.
over at
Definitely be asleep.
twitch.tv
be completely asleep.
/ the Ridiculously Random Pod. Look, they want us to talk about AEW Dynamite. No lucha. No lucha. That's a rule on the Ridiculously Random Podcast. As my former co-host Fame Black used to say, no lucha. When we would start talking lucha.
Lucha.
No lucha. You know, that's your Spanish lesson today for wrestling. You know that, right? Ladies and gentlemen, for the vet, for Brandon, for Canada Spaceman, because I haven't taken his damn comment off the screen here, I am Colin Wysong. You have been listening to another edition of Your Impact Attack, ladies and gentlemen.